What's up, man? It's your boy Moe Dirdee, man. 2/3 of the earth is covered by water. I cover the rest, man. Welcome to bshine.com, bitch. Like I remember, like I had real bad low self-esteem when I was young. Like as a kid, I had bad low self-esteem to where I couldn't even catch the bus. Like I can catch the bus and I can hit the bell, and like if the bus driver didn't stop, like I potentially would just continue to ride the bus until he got tired of just driving or stopped for somebody else. I wasn't confrontational at all or nothing like that. I didn't stand up for myself. So, but with music, like, you know what I'm saying, when music came around, music gave me a different way to express myself in a manner where it wasn't personal, like one-on-one. I was speaking to the masses. So in comparison to just like me having to address one particular person directly, like, you know what I'm saying, I can reach a lot of different people because I felt a lot of different ways. And by me feeling a lot of different ways, like I wanted to reach a lot of different people and let a lot of different people know how I felt. In comparison to just like you know what I'm saying, me being confrontational, meeting aggression with aggression. My mama was telling me I had to be one way, but there was something about me as a young adult growing up that like wanted me to go the opposite way and what my mother was trying to lead me, because like I was young and shit. I understand that I was coming of age, and then once I started watching TV and different, you know what I'm saying, mannerisms of other people who rapped, or like the way they dressed or how they carried themselves, or like the graffiti, the DJing, like all kinds of different shit. Like once I started paying attention to that, it wasn't really nothing my mama could tell me. It was like I knew what direction I wanted to go in comparison to what she was trying to lead me to. So it was like the yin and the yang, bro. Back in the day, I used to fuck around at the Lush. The Lush in Detroit, downtown Detroit. No, not downtown Detroit, Joseph Compton, Kniff. But I used to go down to the Lush, and the very second I wanted to take it serious is when I knew that, like, I had already pretty much went beyond the people who I knew, who I looked up as those people who had, like, you know what I'm saying, who was lyricists and shit like that. Once I realized that, like, you know what I'm saying, I was looking down at them. It was kind of like, okay, I moved over to the Lush. And by me going over there with a certain era of arrogance, and I was the little fish in the big pond, like going over to the Lush. I was like, man, this motherfucker's out here really doing this shit beyond what I'm doing it. And you know what I'm saying? I'm intelligent than a motherfucker, but going into the Lush let me know, like, hey, it made me humble myself and to look at it like, okay, like I don't only have my own perception. There's other perceptions that are just as sharp as mine. So that's, you know what I'm saying, that's what made that was the changing point in, you know what I'm saying, how I went about a lot of different shit, because I felt like I had a sharp direction before I made it to the Lush. And when I made it to the Lush, it was like, yeah, humble yourself, my G, because they out here. Putting myself on a platform to be able to have my music found, because a lot of underground artists, they make music and they let a lot of artists, when they let a lot of friends, they let a lot of people, they let them ride and listen to it, their music. And like you get your people like, whoa, that shit hot, this shit cold. That's cool. They riding down the street listening to it, but as a mass, on a mass level, a lot of people don't get a chance to check your shit out. And you're walking around with this motherfucking arrogant, like arrogance, and you ain't even tapped into who you needed to tap into. I make sure I get my music in the right hands. I make sure just as much energy and effort that I put into putting the music together, I put the same energy and effort into making sure everybody gets to receive it at the same time, or however they receive it, making sure it's able to be received. My family hated the fuck out of the fact that, like, you know what I'm saying, I chose to rap. Like, and this is, like, you know what I'm saying, my perception and my perception only. And, you know what I'm saying, I got support and evidence kind of like as I, you know what I'm saying, progressed. But it was almost like I sacrificed a lot of different shit. Like, you know, I literally got accolades, and I literally got different accomplishments that I can do, and I can set rap aside, or rap was like, you know what I'm saying, second nature. But it was also a way of how I carried myself. But like I got a lot of different, I'm a certified sous chef, like, so I can actually cook. So if rap never worked for me, I can always put rap aside and go cook. Like I know Action Bronson, he's a certified sous chef. I got different shit that I showcase amongst me cooking that I filtered into, like, you know what I'm saying, me doing my music. But my family hated the fact that, like, I set my career, like, I had actual digits coming in, like money coming in. Like with music, it's like a hustle. So my family kind of hated the fact that I took music up under my wing, and I'm not mad at them because, you know what I'm saying, in within taking music up under your wing, you gotta make a lot of different sacrifices. And as me being a mature adult and knowing as much as I know, it's kind of like, okay, when are you going to make something happen? If it's not cooking, like, you know what I'm saying, when are you going to make this rap shit happen? So it's always kind of, it's on a, it makes me antsy kind of. It used to anyway. For the most part, what I enjoy about making music is the fact that I use music as my dumpster. Like I go through a lot of different shit. Street shit, regular shit, like different bullshit females take me through. Like, but I'm able to translate it into my music. And, you know, this generation of rap, they come up with a lot of, I consider it just like basic shit. And with them coming up with basic shit, it shit that goes over because everybody can understand basic shit. Like when you get technical, that's when you have a problem understanding it, and that's when you set yourself aside. And a lot of people can't relate to technical shit. But even with basic shit, I'm going through a lot of different basic shit that I'm able to translate into my music. And once I go through it, I create an area to where, okay, once I go through it, I don't necessarily interact and or partake into, you know what I'm saying, what I would actually do. Like, even though I, like, you know what I'm saying, depending on what my anger or my animosity is, like, depending on what it is, that's what it's going to be on the street. But when I get a chance to sit down and put it to paper, I translate it to paper how I would, you know what I'm saying, definitely interact in it. And I put it in my dumpster and I forget about it. And then that's what you get. I mean, that's really the basic. I mean, it may sound complex, but on some real shit, like once I lock into some shit, I put all my efforts into some music, and like I go back to that different feeling when I'm feeling that way any other time. There's a lot of different career highlights. A lot of them being able to travel and tap into my fan base that I had no idea that I had. Well, I do a lot of different music and make a lot of different music for the people around me, as well as the people in the surrounding areas that I go to. So not only do I feel a certain kind of way, because like it's not always accepted by the people around me where my area of control is. It's not always accepted. But then when I do get a chance to move around, I get the people who have embraced the music that I've been genuinely making. Like, you know what I'm saying, they recognize it and they let me know, like, yo, we've been hearing you, like, that's my shit. And it'd be shit that, like, the people, you know what I'm saying, in Detroit, like, I make a lot of different music. If I had to consider my music a color, I would never consider it, like, gray or dark. I would consider it an orange because, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm well-rounded when it comes to making music, so. The most thing that I'm proud of as far as my music is the fact that it opens doors and I'm able to put together a catalog to where I can capture like my highlights and my low points to where I can showcase it to however I want to showcase it. Meaning if I put together a string of songs and visuals for it, I have the opportunity to go back and retrace and figure out which ones worked and which ones didn't. And then when I go represent it to somebody who hasn't had a chance to see my shit, I can just like represent like the shit that everybody has already clinged to. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the most important part, because I know how to design myself and redesign myself. What I'm trying to do is like where hip hop and where music is going, I think it's gotten to the point where we're filtering out all of the bullshit, and there's a lot of intellect in what rap is right now. So I kind of feel like the innovative part of me will always be discovered, because like I lead by example. I don't tell you what I'm about to do. You can see what I'm about to do. So I kind of feel like I'm innovative to the point where a lot of artists will pay attention to what I'm doing and they'll try to mimic like what I've led, you know what I'm saying? And it's all based on like how I felt in my originality. But I also feel like years down the line, there's a lot of artists who will follow behind me and try to follow up like Moe. Not like Mike, like Moe. You feel me?